Authorities announce curfew amid reports of looting, as death toll rises to 10. Death toll from wildfires rises to 10. The death toll from wildfires in Los Angeles has risen to 10 from 7, Los Angeles County's medical examiner said. All cases are currently pending identification and legal next of kin notification. You can watch the Los Angeles Fire Department issue a mandatory evacuation order for the Kenneth Fire in this video below. Teams of lawyers, from the rich and powerful, trying to stop us publishing stories they don't want you to see. Lobby groups with opaque funding who are determined to undermine facts about the climate emergency and other established science. Authoritarian states with no regard for the freedom of the press, bad actors spreading disinformation online to undermine democracy. The Guardian is funded by readers like you in Bangladesh, and the only person who decides what we publish is our editor. If you want to join us in our mission to share independent, global journalism to the world, we'd love to have you on side. Southern California Edison said on Thursday it had received notices from insurance companies to preserve evidence related to the Eden fire, but said no fire agencies have pointed to the utilities' connection to the fire. Oscar-winning actor and director Mel Gibson has expressed frustration at the city's response to the wildfires, which has seen criticism aimed at Governor of California, Gavin Newsom, and Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass, reports the Press Association PA. During a podcast interview with Joe Rogan, Gibson expressed frustration, saying Newsom didn't do anything to help address underlying environmental issues, which have remained a problem in Southern California for many years. I think Newsom said, I'm going to take care of the forest and maintain the forest and do all that kind of stuff. He didn't do anything, Gibson told Rogan. I think all our tax dollars probably went for Gavin's hair gel. Gibson joked. It's sad, the place is just on fire. Gibson has also shared that his home was lost in the Los Angeles wildfires while he was away recording a podcast interview. Appearing on News Nation's Elizabeth Vargas reports, Gibson said he returned from Austin, Texas, after recording the Joe Rogan Experience, to find his Malibu home was completely toasted. The Mad Max star, 69, described the loss as emotional and devastating, but attempted to remain upbeat as he said his family were happy and healthy and out of harm's way. I was doing the Rogan podcast. I was kind of ill at ease while we were talking because I knew my neighborhood was on fire, so I thought I wonder if my place is still there. But when I got home, sure enough, it wasn't there, he said. I've never seen such a complete burn. It is obviously devastating. It's emotional. You lived there for a long time, and you had all your stuff. I lived there for about 15 years, so it was home to me. I had a lot of personal things there that I can't get back. Everything from photographs to files to just personal things that I had from over the years that can all be replaced. These are only things. And the good news is that those in my family and those I love are all well, and we're all happy and healthy and out of harm's way. Agents France Presa have a report on the devastation of the Los Angeles fires as viewed from a helicopter on Thursday. Flying south through smoky skies down the famous Malibu coast, at first the burnt-out mansions are the exception, solitary wrecks, smoldering away between rows of intact, gleaming beachfront villas. But draw closer to Pacific Palisades and those small scorched ruins become sporadic clusters, and then endless rows of charred, crumpled homes from the air. The extent of the devastation from the Palisades fire on these two neighborhoods is starting to come into focus. Whole streets in ruins, the remains of once fabulous houses now nothing but ash and memories. Access to this area of utter devastation has been largely closed to the public, and even to evacuated residents since the fire began. Tuesday, the biggest among multiple blazes covering Los Angeles, the inferno has now ripped through more than 19,000 acres, 7,700 hectares, of Pacific Palisades and Malibu. A preliminary estimate of destroyed structures was in the thousands, City Fire Chief Kristen Crowley told Thursday's conference. It is safe to say that the Palisades fire is one of the most destructive natural disasters in the history of Los Angeles, said Crowley for AFP reporters surveying the scenes from a helicopter on Thursday. It was hard to argue with that view. On some of these highly coveted Malibu oceanfront plots, beloved by celebrities, skeletal frames of buildings indicated the lavish scale of what has been destroyed. Other multi-million-dollar mansions have vanished entirely, seemingly swept into the Pacific Ocean by the force of the Palisades fire. And looming above Malibu, a thin sliver of luxurious waterfront property, is Pacific Palisades itself, an affluent plateau of expensive real estate, now deserted. Not the entire hilltop is blackened. Several grand homes stand unscathed. Some streets have been spared entirely. But toward the southern end of the Palisades, grids of roads that were until Tuesday lined with stunning homes now resemble makeshift cemeteries, where row upon row of family homes once stood. All that remain are occasional chimneys, blackened tree stumps, and charred timber. At a press conference on Thursday, Los Angeles District Attorney Nathan Hochman described walking through Pacific Palisades to the remains of his sister's home as apocalyptic. Not since the 1990s, when Los Angeles was hit with the fires, the flood, the earthquake, and the riots, have I seen such disaster occur here in our city, he said. This is crazy, agreed Albert Azuz, a helicopter pilot who has flown these skies for almost a decade, observing the destruction from above on Thursday. All these homes gone. All schools in Los Angeles Unified School District closed on Friday. At least 180,000 people were under evacuation orders, reports the Associated Press, AP. And the fires have consumed about 45 square miles, 117 square kilometers, roughly the size of San Francisco. The Palisades fire is already the most destructive in Los Angeles's history. All schools in the Los Angeles Unified School District, the nation's second largest, will be closed on Friday because of the heavy smoke wafting over the city and ash raining down in parts, and classes will not resume until the conditions improve, officials said. At least 20 arrests have been made for looting, and the city of Santa Monica declared a curfew because of the lawlessness, officials said. National Guard troops arrived in Los Angeles on Thursday evening. The county sheriff said to protect properties they will be stationed near the areas ravaged by fire, and a curfew was expected to go into effect from 6 p.m. until 6 a.m. All schools in Los Angeles Unified School District closed on Friday. At least 180,000 people were under evacuation orders, reports the Associated Press, AP. And the fires have consumed about 45 square miles, 117 square kilometers, roughly the size of San Francisco. The Palisades fire is already the most destructive in Los Angeles's history. All schools in the Los Angeles Unified School District, the nation's second largest, will be closed on Friday because of the heavy smoke wafting over the city and ash raining down in parts, and classes will not resume until the conditions improve, officials said. At least 20 arrests have been made for looting, and the city of Santa Monica declared a curfew because of the lawlessness, officials said. National Guard troops arrived in Los Angeles on Thursday evening. The county sheriff said to protect properties they will be stationed near the areas ravaged by fire, and a curfew was expected to go into effect from 6 p.m. until 6 a.m. earlier in the week. Hurricane-force winds blew embers, igniting the Southern California hillsides. It is impossible to quantify the extent of the destruction other than total devastation and loss, said Barbara Bruderlin, head of the Malibu Pacific Palisades Chamber of Commerce. There are areas where everything is gone. There isn't even a stick of wood left. It's just dirt, Bruderlin said, according to the Associated Press, AP. Of the 10 deaths so far, Los Angeles Fire Chief Kristen Crowley confirmed 2 were in the Palisades fire. County officials said the Eaton fire had killed 5. Cadaver dogs and crews are searching through rubble, Los Angeles County Sheriff Robert Luna said. Anthony Mitchell, a 67-year-old amputee, and his son, Justin, who had cerebral palsy, were waiting for an ambulance to come, but they did not make it out, Mitchell's daughter, Hajime White, told the Washington Post. Sherry Shaw told KTLA that she tried to get her 66-year-old brother, Victor Shaw, to evacuate on Tuesday night, but he wanted to stay and fight the fire. Crews found his body with a garden hose in his hand. On Thursday, recovery crews pulled a body from rubble of a beachfront residence in Malibu on the scenic Pacific Coast Highway. A charred washer and dryer were among the few things that remained, reports the AP. AccuWeather, a private company that provides data on weather and its impact. On Thursday increased its estimate of the damage and economic loss to $135 to $150 billion. reports the Associated Press, AP. Firefighters made significant gains on Thursday at slowing the spread of the major fires, but containment remained far out of reach. Crews also knocked down a blaze in the Hollywood Hills with the help of water drops from aircraft, allowing an evacuation to be lifted on Thursday. The fire that sparked late on Wednesday, near the heart of the entertainment industry, came perilously close to igniting the famed Hollywood Bowl outdoor concert venue. Fire officials do not yet know the cause of the fires, but are actively investigating.